So I was just thinking about the time that I spent in a school with 3 to 6 year olds. Part of my job while I was there was essentially to be the classroom bodyguard, right? And kids would sometimes have very large emotions, right? And my job essentially was to stop that from hurting anyone or anything in the classroom. So sometimes when a child was having very large emotions, I would have to physically remove them from the classroom and help them to calm down in the hallway. And one of the best ways to help a child calm down in the hallway was essentially just to hold them until their emotions were done, right? And this prevented them from hurting each other, from hurting themselves, from hurting the classroom, from hurting anything in the hallway, right? So I would just hold them and sit with them until they calmed down, right? And the kids hated this. They did not want to be held. They just wanted to go on a rampage and destroy everything in their path. But I prevented them from doing that, and I prevented them from hurting anyone or anything. So I would sit with them until they calmed down, and then the moment that they calmed down, it was like all their muscles relaxed, and you could tell that they were then calm, and I would release my grasp, right? And then I would say to the child, all right, now that you've calmed down, would you like to sit next to me, or would you like to continue sitting on my lap? And about 90% of the time, the child wanted to keep sitting on my lap because they realized that I was this safe place for them to experience their emotions, to get rid of all their rage without hurting anyone or anything, so without causing any damage to anyone or anything, right? So I became this safe place for them to go through their emotions, right? And then once they were calm, they wanted to stay in that safe place with me. They would sit with me for a little bit longer, and then they oftentimes would tell me something good that's happening in their life, right? And it was just this really, really beautiful thing to witness, to see a child like experience all the rage and the anger and the hatred towards me, and then to like kind of get rid of it all and to like love that place of peace and that place of rest that they found sitting on my lap, right? And so this was really, really beautiful. And I think about this when I think about the Lord sometimes, because He is this place. He wants to be this place where we can be safe with Him, where we can experience all of our anger, all of our rage, all of our emotions. We can like give it to Him. We can let Him experience it. We can tell Him everything. We can't hurt Him. Like these children, they were 3 to 6 years old. They really couldn't hurt me, right? But they were able to like experience those emotions with me and then be a place of peace later, right? So the Lord wants us to give Him every emotion that we're experiencing. He wants to experience that with us. He wants us to rest in Him. He wants us to rest on His lap, right? And He doesn't care what emotions we're experiencing. And then when we're done experiencing these emotions, we are then free to be with Him, free to sit with Him, and free to share our lives with Him in peace, right? And He also like prevents us then from making terrible mistakes when we are with Him in those emotions. So that is something that I've been thinking about today. And I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you're having a great day. Ciao. God bless.